Am I live? I think I'm live. Hi, Bree. Welcome. Welcome to this kind of channel. It is a channel. Um, and thank you for being here. Listen away. I always have somebody on in the background, and so I'm glad you're going to be here to listen. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Teresa. Yes, I'm home from the cruise.
Welcome, welcome,
Let me,
welcome.
well, gotta
Hi, Teresa.
gotta mute the iPad. Yes, I am home from the cruise. It was short and sweet. Um, and it was just enough. You know, it was 3 days. And I guess then you can graduate to 4 days, and then 5 days, and then 7 days, and then, around the world. Some people, hi, Pam. Some people have figured out that they can live on a cruise ship. Hi, Angie. They can live on a cruise ship year round, and it's cheaper than living in a like an assisted care living facility. That they've done the math, and they can do that on a cruise ship, and for about the same amount of money. And on a cruise ship, there's 24/7 medical service. There's a medical staff, not for anything serious, but there's somebody there. Help, I've fallen, I can't get up. You your room is taken care of every day. I guess there is a laundry. There is a laundry service, right? And you've got beautiful meals 3 times a day, and you can get off the ship every once in a while when there's a port of call. And I was reading an article, maybe it was an AARP, the old people's newspaper. They were saying that a lot of people who have gone on over this, hi, Adria, have gone cruising like across the Atlantic and longer distance than just like what we did, a little skip, hop, and a jump from from Cape Canaveral to Nassau in the Bahamas. That they've come into, they've run into several people that are cruisers. I mean, like retiree. Okay, you ran into somebody that does that several months out of the year. Yeah, I guess if you can swing it, yeah. I mean, the cruise we went on, the staff was just couldn't be any more accommodating, and the meals were very, very, very good, and there certainly was variety, and anything you wanted to eat was there. Hi, Barbara Clark. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And yeah, I guess happy Father's Day to all of you have fathers here, past and gone and current and whatever. That kind of threw me for a loop, Barbara. But I'm glad you're here. So I'm going to start out with my reading, and I hoped would have been a little bit further along in gathering all the bits and pieces for the. Hi, Becky. For the journal that I ultimately want to make. I was of a. Well, you don't have to swim to go on a cruise, Angie. You just don't go near the pool. And if heaven forbid something happened, you put on a life jacket and they put you in a lifeboat, and hopefully you will never have to swim. Or maybe that would be the place to learn how to swim. Hi, Julie Parker. Good to see you. I mean, they have, wading pools and hot tubs and stuff like that, where I don't think you really have to be a swimmer to qualify to go on a cruise. They don't ask you whether can you swim or not. But anyway, yeah, it was fine. It was fine. It was great. And I have taken some pictures and I've downloaded them on my little Polaroid thingy that spits out little tiny pictures that are on sticky paper, and I'll be sticking those in. I looked at a couple of really neat travel journals. I Googled, travel journals, and there were some that really did some really beautiful stuff that I might attempt. It involved watercoloring backgrounds, and they were really very pretty. So we've started a new book called Uh-Oh. And I can't read, the whole thing. I mean, it's not like the other book where there was, definite beginning and ends of like essays, I guess. So I'm going through the chapters and then stopping at a point where it makes sense. If that makes sense. Oh, there you go. Okay. And we left off last week where we were talking about, wouldn't it be neat if you could go around and take pictures of refrigerator doors and put them all together? I mean, you'd have some sort of website where people would take a picture of their refrigerator door and then make commentary on it and then send it in. And then someone would put together a massive like coffee table book of refrigerator doors, which I thought was a pretty cool idea. So that's where we left off. And so this is still part of that same chapter. Ever been present at one of those archaeological expeditions when the entire contents of the refrigerator, freezer included, are laid out on the kitchen table? How can people live like that? From the freezer compartment comes especially interesting bits of history, like a package of mystery meat with freezer burn so bad you don't know whether to bandage it, smoke it, or use it to start a fire. I recall discovering such things as a snowball, the corpse of a very small shrew, some ice cream made from snow, a corsage from a wedding anniversary, and several flashlight batteries, all frozen into the last ice age of the freezing compartment of a refrigerator, all placed in safekeeping in the deep cold by various members of the family for their own reasons, all important to the persons who put them there. What should be done with these relics? I ran across an idea from the National Park Service that has merit. It asks that any historical artifacts found in a park be appreciated by the finder, left in place, and simply reported to headquarters so that experts may deal with the removal or disposal. From hard experience, I urge that those who clean out freezers at home follow the Park Service policy. Those who reclaim their treasures will love you more if they don't have to exhume half-thawed relics from the garbage can. Unless you are happily sound asleep at the hour 2 a.m., is usually not the best of times. It's an hour often given to pacing the floor in crisis or in grief, or to consoling of wee babes who cry in the night. Telephones that ring at 2 a.m. usually mean trouble, as do sounds made by teenagers arriving home late, disturbed dogs, dripping water, and those unknown creatures that gnaw somewhere in the walls. People talk to themselves about serious things at this hour. I think of 2 a.m. as feeding time, the time when I've had some of the best meals I've ever eaten. Gourmet eating, alone, with nobody standing around saying, "You're not really going to eat that, are you?" One memorable midnight, I put away a taco shell full of almond paste and washed it down with a can of Snappy Tom that had been there so long there was rust on the can. I followed that with some celery sticks, limp enough to tie granny knots in. Then I ate a whole dish of tapioca pudding that I picked up out of the bowl in one piece. The last inch from a bottle of red wine made way for a scoop of cold chili smeared on rye bread and topped with fig jam. A spoonful of peanut butter and a spoonful of jam every now and then to clear the palate. A couple of glasses of milk to keep things moving on down my throat without jamming up. Finally, I revived a cup of dead coffee in the microwave and went out on the porch to sit and look at the moon and smoke that remaining half of cigar I hadn't finished before I went up to bed a couple of nights before. Great meal, one of the truly great ones. Wow. That sounds like someone that was really stoned. I don't know. But, oh, look, I'm going to read a little bit more. And another dead of the night dining extravaganza happens because I sat up late reading the White Trash Cookbook. I own that cookbook. I have the White Trash Cookbook. There's a recipe in that for a rack of Spam. You take a can of Spam, which we just happen to have left over from a camping trip, and you butterfly the loaf, which means slicing it thin sections without cutting all the way through. Then you bend the Spam open so you can stick pieces of pineapple in between them. That's what the half of can of hairy pineapple chunks are on the back shelf of the refrigerator is meant for. For garnish, top off with some peanut butter and a few maraschino cherries. Stick the baby in the microwave for about 4 minutes. Open a box of saltine crackers and get a whole quart of milk from the fridge. Drink it right from the carton. Take your time and eat it all. You can't get a meal like this in a French restaurant, but I've seldom ever eaten better. I have that White Trash, that cookbook. I don't anymore. I used to collect cookbooks, but I gave all my cookbooks away when I moved to Florida. I had lots of, hi, Carla. Hi, Andrea. I had lots of cookbooks. I had really built up a beautiful collection of cookbooks. But when I moved to Florida, I gave them away. And I announced to the teachers at the school where I was working at the time, I told them I was going to be bringing in my cookbooks, and leaving them in the teacher's lounge. So every day I had one of those gigantic canvas LL Bean bags, the real big ones that LL Bean makes. And I would fill them up with cookbooks, as heavy as I could carry them. And I would put them on there was a little, sitting area in the teacher's lounge, some sofas and a coffee table. And I laid them out on the coffee table, and I walked back to my classroom, which happened to be right across the hall from the teacher's lounge. And I bet you 15, 20 minutes later, I would walk into the teacher's lounge and all the cookbooks were gone, just like that. Puff. Hi, Monkey 911. They were just gone. Disappeared. Is Sister here? Hi, little Sister Cheryl is crafting. Good to see you. And I did that. I did that for a couple of days. I hauled in canvas bags full of cookbooks, and every day, within 10, 15 minutes, they were gone. One day there was a couple of teachers waiting for me to see what was left. But I got rid of them all, and I know they all went to good homes. These people, so I felt good about them going to people that I knew, and I knew they were going to a good home. So my cookbook collection has diminished, but I did bring with me The Joy of Cooking, which is like the Bible of cooking. I have that. This is probably the second or third copy I have of The Joy of Cooking. I gave one to both of my sons, and I have the original Julia Childs cookbook. Hi, Mitzi. Good to see you. The Art of French Cooking, I think. I have that one, the 1957 version of that. And I have the White Trash Cookbook also among my collection now. But it is greatly diminished because of lack of space. I love reading cookbooks. I really do. And, that Julia Childs cookbook is beautiful. It has beautiful ink drawings in them, of the different dishes. Maybe, some stream I will maybe we'll go through some of the cookbooks. And I've always wanted to create my own cookbook, take all of the recipes that I have collected over the years. Oh, you have a Betty Crocker. There you go. That's classic. I made a big loose leaf and put all, my recipes in clear sleeves and filled a whole big fat loose leaf. And I thought one day it would be fun and I have another loose leaf of pages of recipes that I started to type. And I thought one day I would put that all together and make a cookbook. Now, I don't even know how I would give reference to the originator of those recipes. You know, a lot of them were cut out in newspapers and they're all kind of aged and crinkly and falling apart. But that would be a kind of a fun thing to do, is to kind of gather all those up. I even have a little tin index box, you know, the little tin boxes that would hold index cards. And my mother, when I got married, she painstakingly took index cards, right, and put them in a typewriter, an old fashioned typewriter, mind you. And she typed out a whole bunch of recipes and filed them in this little tin index box, and then taped a picture of like a kitchen on the cover of the tin box. Um, I still have that box, and I still have her original typewritten recipes, and then some handwritten ones too. Her Indian curry recipe. I'm going to make a stream out of that. I'm not going to talk about it because that could be a very interesting. It'll be my own archaeological dig. Safia, good to see you again. Thanks for the recommendation. Yeah, it's not in print here. I mean, it hasn't been released here yet. Safia recommended a book for me to read, and I went to Audible, and I had a credit, and I typed that in, and they said it'll be released September 5th, but I have pre-ordered it. I know, right? And how, I mean, this is an old fashioned typewriter. I mean, so you gotta, and she would line and get, I mean, it was amazing on index cards. Not even, you know, not, I know that they have recipe cards, right? But this was just plain old index cards. And she typed out, you know, her recipes for everything, all the things that we liked as kids. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Well, it's not even available here yet. At least it won't be available on until September 5th on Audible. So I will get it as soon as it arrives. Okay, now I have been downloading pictures. I'm not a really great picture taker. Uh, Used to be all we had. Where, yeah, I had what was the name of that very famous typewriter? It began with an O. I know you would probably know it, Barbara. The company began with an O. You have a, oh, okay. You have a die cut of an old type. Oh, okay. Yeah. What the heck was the name of it? I had one of those. And I took typing in high school. But if you passed it on to someone else, they would say it was from, oh, really? Yes, I think that's right. Oh, you had the Remington Quieter Deluxe. Oh, wow. I think that's right, Carla. Olivetti. Yeah, that does ring a bell. Hi, Carol. How are you? And how are things up north? I hope they are gradually warming up. You had a brother typewriter. Now, when I took typing in high school, we had Royal typewriters. And it was interesting. They were specially made for typing classes because the keys were blank. No letters no letters on the keys at all. They were just blank keys. And hanging in the front of the classroom was the keyboard. And you kind of, hi, Joyce. And you kind of learned how to type, but by looking at that, and eventually you eventually learned where they are. Scott is doing a bunch of pre-cuts to have ready for the end of the week as he's taking Wednesday. Oh, wow. So this could be the final push. Oh dear. Not your water main, but a water main broke. Ooh, that's awful. So I take it you're without water, Carol? Oh man, that's, and something like that is unexpected, right? I mean, like when we have a hurricane coming, everyone stocks up on water, but you don't know when a water Is it a pipe in your house, or it is like out like the street? I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, in the house is even worse. We had a pipe burst in New York, and we had a deep freeze. Oh, big restrictions. Okay, all righty. We had one of the little copper pipes and just had a little pinhole. It burst because it was minus 37 or something ridiculous. And it was a pipe that was on the outside, a main city pipe. Okay. Well, I'm sure they're working hopefully around the clock to fix that. Yeah. What a mess. Absolutely. Oh, okay. Let's tackle this. Again, I took pictures and I'll show you how and then I printed them out on, I'm using, it's not going to be very clear. I think autofocus is on. Let me go take autofocus. Isn't it amazing that you have to take autofocus off in order for it to focus? Does that make any sense? But that seems to be what you got to do. Let's see. And it just likes it so much that it just, yep, there it is. I didn't put it on, honest to gosh. It put itself on. It's got a mind of its own. All right, turn that off. And now I'm frozen. No! Don't be frozen. Am I frozen? I am frozen. Oh, no. All right, I'm frozen. Oh, dear. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, let me go back. Let me go back. You little booger, you. Oh, boy. Yep. I'm frozen. I'm frozen. So let me see. Let me go back. Remove from stage. No, I don't want to remove myself from stage. All right. Let's see. Exit. Let me go. I'm going to go out and come back in, I guess. I'm going to leave studio. Leave studio. All right, I'm back. My gosh. Oh my gosh, that was scary. Did you know I was frozen? Oh, whose birthday is it? Happy B-Day. Happy birthday. Yeah, I don't know. I turned autofocus off and then it shut me down. How dare they? And then I left and then I came back. Welcome back. So I have pictures and then I printed them out. And these are little stickers. And I don't mean to enable you because this is a kind of an expensive enable, but I'm going to show you how cool this is. So I have this little handy dandy Polaroid, and they make you can buy a non-Polaroid thing that does this, and I think Canon does one too, that aren't, not as expensive. And I'm going to turn it on. Hopefully it'll work. Or not. Oh, you little booger. Oh, it's not going to work. And I had it fully charged. Oh, there it is. Okay. And then you have to download the zip menu. Zip would like to communicate with the Polaroid. Yes, let's talk away. Let's communicate. Allow. And I have a bunch of pictures on my phone. And I'm going to print out a picture of the pool area at night. And I'm going to print and print. And it's not going to work because I didn't make sure that they were talking to one another. Zip needs to talk to Bluetooth. Okay. Yeah, it's all great when it works, isn't it? I'm sorry. I thought it was all set and I could show you how cool this little thing is when it works. Everything is awesome when it works. Let's see. Make sure Bluetooth is turned on. Retry. Select an accessory. Oh, well, I'm not going to waste a lot of time on it. Okay, it's not working. I have a whole bunch of pictures printed out anyway. But they're kind of nice because they're small. When you put them in a travel, and their sticker, you just pull off the sticker. And it's zinc paper. So let's go through some ephemera from the cruise, right? I guess this is ephemera when you start gathering up every little piece of paper. Okay, you have, okay. Carol, something happened with eggs here. 6 chicken farms in Victoria. Oh. More fun. Oh, wow. Oh, that's awful. So you have an egg shortage. Huh. That's interesting. Wow. I love eggs. I have eggs pretty much every morning. So I went around and I collected ephemera because I guess ephemera is just any bits and piece of paper, right? So this is my ephemera. So every room had a folder. So I took the folder out of the room. And they have an art gallery and they auction off art. And they have these beautiful art catalogs, right? And there was one in each room. So I took 2 because they're printed on both sides. So I can cut out pictures that I like. And I was actually thinking that, I mean, this could make an interesting journal, right? Just use these pages as the journal. It would be an odd shaped travel journal, but that's a possibility. And the nice thing about it is it's stapled in the middle, so I could take pages out of it. You know what I'm saying? So if I don't fill it up, I guess I would do like maybe, so I would keep that in it. So I guess what you would do is you would maybe journal on this page and then journal on this page, right? Was that right? Oh, Angie, okay. Well, thanks for being here. I appreciate that. How about a thumbs up on the way out? I'm probably sure you already gave me a thumbs up because you're a good thumbs-er-upper. And then I would do, does that make sense? And then I would do this page. And then the same at the end. And then of whatever I didn't fill, I could just take out, right? And maybe even keep some of the art. I don't know. I don't know. It was in the room. And it's put out, I tell you what, it's put out by Park West, which is an art studio. And Park West, my guess would be, see, it's beautiful. It's got that really nice, it was Park West, the global network of artists. And I guess they basically display their artwork on cruise ships. When you collect with us on this cruise, you will receive a unique art collecting experience. Doesn't say who's actually, I don't know who's actually published it. I have no idea. I bet you could. Let me see if there's a, oh, wait a minute. Yeah. They have a YouTube channel, they have a Facebook channel, they have a .com channel, they have a Twitter and Instagram. So yeah, I could give you that. So if you typed in parkwestgallery.com, that's their website. And Aunt Bex, thank you. Aunt Bex is on it. She's got it right there for you. You could probably request a catalog. I get a beautiful catalog from a art gallery in New York City, and they send out beautiful publications quarterly of their artwork. Now the artwork is starts at $25,000 to $50,000 up to $100,000. But I just went to their website because it said request a catalog on one of their full page ads in Vogue or something like that. Yeah. And we walked through the gallery as we were going from, I don't know, point A to point B. We walked basically across the width of the ship, and the gallery, yes, not galley, galley's the kitchen. The gallery was the width of the ship. And so we walked, and both walls were like, oh, you did it. Okay. All righty. I mean, they've got, they even have pieces by, which is interesting. These pieces were hung. That's like Peter Max, reminds me of Peter Max, but they have Peter Max stuff in here. And they also they list the artists, and they've got some Salvador Dali pieces. And obviously he's not alive anymore. And they've got Marc Chagall, who's not alive anymore. So they've got some deceased artist stuff too. But Joan Mero, another guy that's not around anymore. But these are names that Peter Max, I recognize. These are names that I recognize. And there's a lot of young artists in here. And then but you're right. It's an interesting way of, yep. And if I had gone to their auction, it says there, right there, make a purchase and provide us with your email address. If I had gone to the auction, attend an auction, receive one of the 7 lithographs pictured below. I didn't go to an auction, but if I had gone to an auction, I could have gotten a lithograph of one of these paintings, which I didn't do. There's a lot of things that we didn't do that we could have done. I think I talked about it. There's so much, but you would have to be on a tight schedule to do all of those things. And, a lot of people are on vacation and they don't want to say, well, I've got to hurry up and finish dinner so I can make it to the show, or, because dinner, you don't know. You can make reservations, and without reservations, we didn't actually have to wait that long. But yeah, I took both of them. Why not, right? So I have 2 of these, so I can cut them up. So here's some more. This was the stuff that was on the desks. This is some of the stuff that was available. And here are the times and everything. We got Mamma Mia, Ocean Aria, Aqua Show, Blades, Ice Show, Comedy Live, Crazy Quest. So they have a whole calendar of what's going on your cruise. I was there when they were getting ready for this Ocean Aria. It was almost like a Cirque du Soleil over water. And then they have the running times about how long they're going to be. And that's that was on the thing. And then they have all of the beverages and casino. I was shocked at how big the casino was. I mean, the last cruise ship and that was a long time ago. The casino was basically just a wall with slot machines. This is, I mean, roulette wheels, obviously slot machines, poker tables. It was extensive. And they allowed smoking in there, which was disgusting. We walked through it, and I have forgotten how smoky, it can be. And when smoking was allowed, it was pretty bad. And then shore excursions and retail. I didn't go into a single retail shop, but they had a Coach store was there, and dining, of course. Next cruise, they had a big spa, and you could actually have your private photo studio session. So, and then I've got Cruise Compass going green. So these are all the little things that I picked up. Happy World Ocean Day. And when we got back to our room on Happy World Ocean Day, the room steward had made a stingray. I don't know why I didn't take a picture. How stupid. He made a stingray out of a towel. He folded the towel so it was like stingray shape, right? And then he had two little stickum eyes. He put the eyes on, and then he twisted up looked like a washcloth and made the tail of the stingray, and that was on one of the beds when we got back to our rooms. Oh, look at this. $17.49. Out with the wrinkles. Start your cruise with freshly pressed clothing for one low price. Fit up to 10 pieces into the bag provided and leave it for your stateroom attendant. Our clothing professionals will work as quickly as possible to press and return your garments within 48 hours. Wow. Who knew, right? I don't think I guess, I don't know. I guess people do that. Someone said just hang them in the shower, but then when they get wet, I don't know. And here is the Boom, directions to get on the internet we had to pay for. And here are the very complicated instructions on how to activate the kids' card to play the arcade games. Very complicated, but they finally were able to figure out. This is the book I chose to do the journal in. Buy clothes that don't wrinkle. Exactly. I know. 48. Oh, I guess that's got to be for people who are on much longer cruises than I was. So this is the journal that I had lying around, and I've cut this picture out and travel. And this is the book that I plan to probably use for the journal. And because it's got all the information, and it's got nice paper, and if I want to throw some watercolor on it, I could. And I also have a journal, one of those plastic envelope things filled with journal like pictures that I've been collecting for this, and then I have the real stuff. So I'm probably going to use this. This is my original reservation that got canceled on me, and so, but I'll leave that on, and we'll just start here. So I think I'm gonna stick with this. This is this is made in England, and this was our luggage tags for disembarkment. If we wanted them to take our luggage, we had to leave it outside our door by 10:15 the night before we docked, and then they would put it in some big room, and then they would call like section 10, go find your luggage. Or you could take it off the ship under your own self-assisted. And of course, that's what we did. We self-assisted ourselves. So we didn't have to wait for our luggage. We got off the ship, we had our luggage with us. But again, a 4-day cruise, 3-day cruise, right? How much luggage are you going to have? We didn't have very much. And then here is the whole departure schedule. And there's my room and the breast. And I think this will be going in the journal. The room service wasn't that expensive. It was only $7.95 per room. And that you could literally order everything. If you wanted to have order everything on this menu, it would be delivered to your room for $7.95. So if you wanted, eggs over easy, over medium, over easy, over hard, fried eggs, buttermilk pancakes, plain blueberry with maple syrup, hash browns, chicken sausage, pork sausage, mimosa, the ultimate Bloody Mary. You could have the continental breakfast. So you could literally check off all of this stuff. That's the other thing. You can, if you're feeling like you want to have 2 entrees, say you want to have a steak and you want to make your own surf and turf, you could order like the salmon and the steak. You can order as many entrees as you want. It's amazing. It's just, I don't have that kind of appetite. But you know what they don't have anymore? The very famous, the old midnight buffet. That used to be a thing where they'd have the ice sculptures. They don't do that anymore, at least not on this ship. Maybe they do on some of the old, they don't do that. But I remember the one cruise we went on, there was these gorgeous like ice sculptures of dolphins, and then it'd be a huge buffet at midnight. So if you hadn't have enough, then there was more. And this was the box that the soap came in. And it was really nice soap. And it smells good. And it's going to make my journal smell good. So I'm going to put that in there. And we have some extra thingies from the duckies. We don't have any ducks, but we got the passport. So I think I'll stick a few of those into the journal too. So this is what the little passport. Oh, look at that. I got 3 extra rubber bands. Oh, I filled these out. Okay. So this is what you do. It says, "Oh, what luck, you found a duck." And you fill this out and you put your name and but this one is not the official one that the cruise line that you can download and print out. And this one doesn't tell you where you're from. And the ducks that the boys found told them where the people were from, which was nice. So this doesn't have a point where you put where you're from. So we got one from somewhere in Colorado and one from somewhere in Florida for a place I can't even pronounce. It's a long Indian name. And then we got one that just had not a barcode, but one of those square things that you scan, and it said "buy the bride a drink." So I guess if you scanned it, you could buy the bride a drink, and then the bride would get money. A Venmo. I guess it's a Venmo account, my son said. So, all right. So let's try to do something somewhat artistic. And this is a nice piece of paper. Maybe this. See, now I'm thinking maybe it should be at that type of journal, where you cut, just make the pages. Yeah, need to put a little shipport window. Yeah, they could, right? They could, right? Like here, they could just, or I know you could draw like an old-fashioned life preserver around it. The little round ones with the ropes. Do that. Yeah, I can do that. Let's do this. Let's do this. I think I'm going to. You can cut this like so, right? Make that part of the journal. Is that going to be on it though? Yeah, kind of. I don't know. I want to use that though. because it's got nice pockets. All right. Let's cut this, shall we? Ooh, maybe not cut it. Maybe fold it in a little bit. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what we can do here. And we have yeah, I think I could possibly draw a life preserver. But I could try. Let me see if I can get a crease in this. All right. I gauged that pretty well, didn't I? Like so. Or I could tuck stuff in here. I could tuck stuff in here. I guess I'm going to cut it maybe around here. I think it'd be too much to fold that in. But let's see what we're going to do here. All right, let's do this. I want to kind of make it even, so let's see. Think so? I don't know. It may work, it may not. Maybe just, this is pretty thick stuff. I mean, it's a nice folder. I'm serious. I don't know. You know what? It's a Facebook group, Adria, and it's called Cruising Ducks. And they may well do it on river cruises. Just type and go to Facebook and search Cruising Ducks. It's a huge Facebook. I mean, there's lots of members of that group. You're supposed to take a picture of any ducks you find and then post them on the Facebook page. Well, I'm going to cut. That's going to be there. It's going to be off a little bit, but that's going to kind of work, right? Kind of, maybe. All right. So I'm going to cut this. We'll bring that up a little bit to save the. So I'm going to cut it. Let's see, right around here. Maybe like that. Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. That looks good. Yeah. Now Angie's left, right? Because I'm going to get out the knife, and I know she doesn't like that, but I'm gonna cut it with a box cutter. Ooh, gotta stand up for that. So. Yeah. Well, I got it pretty straight. Hi, Sharon. I got your thing in the mail today. I haven't opened it yet. I just when I went to put the garbage out, I checked my mail and it was in there. So, well, that is crooked, but it's okay. So thank you. Ah. Whoopsies. I have to clean that up here. Let me clean that up. Make sure I'm using the metal side of the ruler. That was one of the biggest eureka moments in crafting when someone told me that this ruler has a metal edge on it. I was shocked. I said, no way. Sure enough, embedded on this side is a metal thing, so you can cut, because you can't, when you do this on the plastic side, you just chew the. I was shocked. I didn't know that. All right, so you can use that. I think that'll be okay. And I don't know about that. Let's throw that over there. So this way, if I have some loose pages, let's see, I can stick this in like so. And let's see. So I can take all of these. Oh, that's what I'm going to do. Let's make these pages, right? And then we can do stuff, right? Tips for easy departure. You know what I thought was curious, which I thought was odd? They took our pictures. Yeah, I know. If you have this Timmy ruler, if you have this Timmy ruler that I think many of us have, and it's got those little tiny holes, and then on this side, as you can see, there's a metal strip for cutting purposes. And it's embedded in there. So when you look at the ruler straight down, you would barely know it's there. And I don't even know who, somebody pointed that out to me. And I went, whoa. Oh, I was starting to say that they took our pictures when we boarded. They had like an iPad type of thing, and they took our pictures when we boarded, which I figured, okay, we had to take pictures of ourselves and upload our pictures. I don't know what the holes are for. Maybe someone in here knows. That I don't know. That I don't have an answer for. And they're very tiny. I mean, they're very, very tiny holes. I mean, you can get a sewing needle through there. So I guess I don't know that you could actually use it to like poke holes for binding, for a book binding, but yeah, I don't know what those are for, but they're definitely there. And they are let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're an 8 spacing for stitching signatures. Well, maybe they're an 1/8 of an inch apart. I guess you could do that, right? And I don't know. And I got crap all over mine, so I can barely see the letters. I mean, the numbers on it. That's what I thought, Aunt Bex. That made more sense than anything else. All right, so let's. Oh, maybe we could decorate this with that. Okay, all right, let's do that. Do I have any more paper? I took our boarding passes and I didn't laminate them. I did a faux laminate. Paper piercing, attaching seam bindings and creating mini tag books. Huh. That's interesting. Thanks for checking that out, Becky. This is my faux laminate, meaning I covered it in packing tape. But a lot of people, they just showed it to them on their phones. So, but I can poke holes in them maybe, or fold them in half this way. I don't know. I don't know. I'll fold all this in half and make pages. Make pages in the journal. Oh, I know what I want to get. I want to get, let's see, attaching seam binding, the holes into seam binding. I should know what a seam binding is. I should know. I finished, I made a book using number 8 tags. Okay. I have to show you, in effect, what I got done. I got my first square done. I made it a little bit big. We're doing some slow stitching here. So I kind of evened it out. Remember, it was crooked, and I made a little. So now I'm gonna just gonna start doing, the fancy stuff like you were doing, and this will be like the first square. And I did baste it, and then I added this, so I have to baste that down. But and it's almost square, not quite. So, and I haven't followed Jerry Bellini, Barbara, and using her 7 different stitches. I've just used the straight stitch. But, and it's still kind of like that, but it was really much worse than that. So, it is so relaxing to do. Anyway, I wanted to show that. Because Aunt Bex has a beautiful piece that she's doing. And she's doing all the embroidery stitches. Well, she did scraps and then went back and then the scraps, and then something in the scrap kind of inspired her to add a specific embroidery stitch. She would do that. Carol kind of did that. Hi, Mariah. How are you? Enjoyed the stream this morning? You guys are really, you and your mom are all snotty. I felt bad. Okay. Well, I think I might just fold that in half. I'm just folding ephemera from the cruise. And I'm just maybe making a journal and stitching all this stuff together. And then adding other stuff, I guess. Even though this was the stuff. That there. Stick this here. Oh, you picked that up on my travels. And oh, that's right. You guys were on vacation and you came home with that and you gave it to your mom. Oh. How's Izzy? Did she get it too, or did she get sick? You sound really congested. Yeah, I was afraid that I had picked up something on the cruise, and I was panic stricken. I don't know why. I mean, I had a little sore throat the last night of the cruise, but I woke up the next morning. Oh, I'm sorry, Julie. Well, just sit back and relax. Don't worry about it, as my brother used to say to my mother. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Oh, don't worry about it. He's the one that needed a lot of worrying about. All right, so we got that. And now I'm thinking we got some more papers here. And this is just the itinerary. And the cost. We can make those pages. Look at all the pages I have. Just from, it's enough for a journal right there. But before doing anything. I could take pages out of it. Oh no. Oh, what did I do? Well, I can. Oh, shit. Well, wait a minute. I wonder what the difference is. I mean, they're owned by the same company, Carnival and Royal. And I think they own. I think that the reason why I went with Royal, Mariah, is Royal had like more stuff for kids to do. And I don't know whether you've taken Izzy on a cruise or that's just something you guys have gone. Oh, okay. You don't feel well enough? Okay. Well, I hope you feel better. Yeah, Carnival is much more of a party boat because we would literally pass them in the middle of the night, in the middle of the ocean. We would pass them, and the Carnival ship was all lit up, and it even had like a rotating, like disco ball on the top of the ship. Oh, okay, yeah, they had that too. They had all sorts of stuff for kids. Of course, my grandson, my 13-year-old, he was too cool. He wasn't going to hang out in the teen camp. He just thought that was just, no, he was not doing that. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I think I'll take this apart and cut down some of these pages to put in here because it's just too big. And I'm not, this is something that I can replicate. You can see it, yeah. We pass one another, and then I have a picture here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. But when we docked in Nassau, in the Bahamas. Let me see. I hope you can see it. First, a Carnival pulled in here, and then another Carnival pulled in there. And then this is the Freedom Class Royal cruise ship, which, as you can see, is much, much smaller than the other two. And then this one here was a Celebrity X. And then on the other was a middle, like a concrete pier. And on the other side of this pier was us. And then, yeah, you can see the Carnival. There's the Carnival. And that's Callum having his surprise birthday breakfast. That's when we had the room service. We had room service breakfast delivered to the room for his 11th birthday. And yeah, it was amazing. And then again, there was another one. The small boat we could feel. Oh, you could? Yeah, we didn't feel anything. We didn't feel anything. Now the ocean was like very calm. You went to Nassau? Yeah. Did you go to Coco Cay too? Because that was first day was Coco Cay, the next day was Nassau, and then on home. Now the ocean was very, very calm. All right, I'm going to take this apart. Let me get my handy dandy staple remover, which I happen to have somewhere. And you think it'll be handy when I need it? No. And it was here. It was here just the other day. Let me see. I can always use a. Where would I put it? Where would I put it? What would make the logical place to put something like that? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Nope. All right. Well, it's always a knife. Oh, Half Moon Cay. Well, thanks, Bree. Thanks for popping in, and I hope you try us again. So welcome. I hope you subscribe. That would be super awesome too. I shouldn't do this with these good scissors. Don't look. There. Oh, speaking of messing around with, like farting around with this, not having the right tools. Let me see. Did I throw it in here? No. I bought a step stool that just has like one platform, just one step up, just to give me a little height. And it's like a little step stool. This is what it looked like, okay? It was like a little step stool like this, right? 4 legs, like so, right? You see? And then it just has, which is nice for me, it just has a big, like, high handle that comes up, right? So you can just one step up, and you've got this hand railing that's pretty high that you can kind of hang on to as you step up. And the step up is not that high. Hi, Trish. And it was such a bitch to put together. Oh my God. You had to be a contortionist. They gave you a crappy little wrench that was really not, a little bit too big for the nut that you had to put onto the screw that went into the pipe. And then they gave you the wrench to hang on to the nut, but then you had to have a Phillips head screwdriver. So you have to hold on to the wrench to steady the nut, and then take a Phillips head screwdriver and then tighten the nut. It was, I was not a happy camper. I was not using very nice language. As you well can imagine, I was really calling them every single name in the book, but I was damned if I was going to be defeated by this design. So I got it all together. End of story. I prevailed. I won. And now I have a relatively safe step stool. Yes. That's it. That's it, and Adria. I thought that looked familiar. I really did. I thought, somewhere in the back of my mind, it was like, I think I've seen something like this before, because I've been through a lot of physical therapy, and that's where it was. Yes, Exactly. Step up, step down, step up, step up. Yes. Well, I have another one that's a couple of steps, and it's metal, and it's very, 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 very heavy. And I just really only need one little step up. And this is, anyway, I managed to conquer that and defeat it. It didn't defeat me. And I called them every single name in the book. And look what I just found. Don't you keep yours in your tape drawer? Yeah. Whoever invented this, they're right up there with the paper clip, don't you think? Well, there. Nothing like having the right tool, right? Just dig in there and, well, come on. There. Ta-da! This is a good one. Made in China. I knew it was around. I just didn't know where around it was. Okay, now let's take this and let's take this. And let's just see how much more paper do I want. I don't know whether I really want that much more paper. Well, I want that. See, that's not going to fit anyway. And that's, anyway, you don't want that anyway. That's all of the, I can recopy that because that's kind of interesting, you know, the cost and everything. So I'm assuming, Mariah, you sailed out of Galveston? Oh my gosh, yes. Putting that together, well, putting any child's toy together. The Christmas Eve nightmare, right? Putting together like the rocking horse. I don't know, the kids even still have rocking horses, you know, the kind of horses. Remember the plastic horses that had 4? Oh, you sailed out of Charleston. Okay. You live in Texas, right? But so you drove up to Charleston, I guess. Wow. Oh, okay. The other boats, we went to Mexico. We did go. Oh, okay. I've always wanted to go to Charleston. I understand it's a wonderful city. I think I'm only going to put maybe 3 pages here. And boy, this paper is really thick. You take 3 pages of that. Okay, all righty. Let's just cut this down to size. All right, we'll just do this. This might just become a travel journal. Oh, you flew to Charleston. Okay, that makes more sense. Because that would be a heck of a road trip. You know, this might just become, you know, what I'm saying, a travel journal where I just put this stuff, but then, you know, pictures that I've cut out. And the other thing I have to do is I've got to get a map of the Caribbean, or, you know, to include in this also. I bought a National Geographic atlas, a big one, beautiful. National Geographic. Well, you know, the smart thing to do, Ian, but I never claimed to be smart, is this. And I can, one of those big atlases. I mean, like big atlases. And I got it at Goodwill, right? And I went to check out, and it didn't have any special price on it. It didn't say anything, right? Like special pricing, and all their hardbacks, I think, were $1 or $1.50 or whatever. And so I went to check out, and the guy said, "Well, it doesn't have any special tag on it, so I guess I'm going to charge you like $1.50 for it." And the guy next to him, the next cash register, said, "That can't be right. That can't be right. It's got to be like more than. It's got to be like $3." And they were arguing about it. And the guy said, "Nope, $3. I mean, $1.50." So I got the National Geographic hardcover atlas, and I didn't tell him that I was buying it to cut up. But I'm going to cut it up because I don't have a map of this area, and you got to have a map, right? But I'm thinking now, since this journal is becoming bigger than I was going to think it was going to be, I could include other like travel adventures I've had. I don't have any ephemera for those trips, but it'd be kind of interesting. Let's see. Let's do this. I think this will work. Yeah. This reminds me of Dee Dee cutting the Somerset magazines to get apart. It's not quite straight, Ann. What else is new? Oh, I was making... You guys will appreciate this because I can't, I have a propensity to upside down and backwards things, folks, And I was putting together the cards that were going to house my Twinchies in there. And those folks don't really know me like you folks know me. And I stamped the sentiment inside the card upside down. And what I did was I had made the envelopes out of scrapbook paper, and it was the scrapbook paper was only printed on one side, so the back side of it was white. So that became like the white envelope. So it was really easy to address. But when you open the envelope, the inside is this beautiful pattern, which makes the scrap paper stuff, right? And so I had a piece of that. And it looks like this. When I made the envelopes, I had little pieces, and I took this and I cut it and I glued it on top of where I had stamped the thing upside down. And then I made it look really like it was purposeful, and I stitched this onto the card. But behind that, it's upside down. And then I stamped it on the right side up. I know, we all do it. I just seems like I do it a lot. And even when you're paying attention and you're trying to be real careful, it still happens, at least. And I know nobody would be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe she sent me that with upside down." Nobody would think that. I know that. Nobody would be that. And I don't remember who's getting that one. There were 3 people that were on my Twinchie exchange thing, and I don't know which one got the stitched over to hide where I had made the boo-boo. All right. So I'm going to put on here, I'm going to write all of that information that was on the boarding and the cost and everything. So that's going to go on this page. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put she cuts it, turns, and tapes it right. Oh, That's not a, well, yeah. I couldn't have done that. It was a card, and I'd stamp the inside of the card. I'm trying to think that might be a possibility. Okay. So you can do little things around you can put little frames around this pictures. This was our sit down breakfast one morning, and I wanted to show you. I didn't hide my, oh, washi works well too. Oh, yes. I could have put a beautiful wide piece of washi because it was, yeah, that's a good idea. Here is where I hid my ducks where people would find them. So he's right on top of this bear that's in this beautiful antique car that's in the kind of the promenade. Have you done the cruising ducks, Mariah? Oh, Izzy would love that. Do you know about the cruising ducks? Next time you go on a cruise, you got to get yourself some duckies and you hide them. And then you find other people's ducks. Yeah, you got to check that out. Cruising ducks. They have a, oh, she did hide her ducks. Did she find any ducks? Okay. That's cool. I didn't know about it. Nettie, who is a friend who comes in sometimes, she's the one that turned me on to the hiding the ducks. And I didn't know where the kids would get into it, but they really did. Reed was trying to hide them up in the ceiling, and I said no. At the arcade, yep. Do you know the Jeep people hide ducks? Yeah, Jeep people hide, not, they don't hide ducks. I'm sorry. Jeep people put ducks on the dashboard of their Jeeps. I didn't know it was a Jeep thing. Oh, she likes getting into the claw machine. Yes. Yes. Well, we had problems navigating the arcade thing. I had gotten the kids money to spend in the arcade. It was loaded onto their cards, their room cards, and it was pretty difficult to figure out how to do it. You had to scan the card underneath a barcode scanner, and then when it kind of recognizes the barcode, then you got to immediately take 3 fingers, mind you, like a Vulcan Star Trek salute thing, and put your 3 fingers on these little things, and when they turn green, then it's activated. Oh, it started in Canada. Okay, that's cool. I didn't know that. So it's been around a while. I guess the first thing I read about was that initially the crew would find them and throw them out because they didn't know, they just thought people had left ducks behind. And then crews, and I guess cruise lines and crews learned not to throw the ducks out, just to leave them be. So then I think they started leaving them be. I think this is kind of pretty. And you know what? You know what would be cool? You see this here? I love this color, but look at this. And wouldn't it be cool to kind of paint this? Do a wash on this color and with a little gray, and then do some mark making on this as a background, because I think that's such a pretty blue, and that would be kind of cool. So I'm going to try to do that in front of a live audience. That's kind of scary. So I figured out kind of the cost of this whole thing. I mean, if we had done a Disney cruise, which that's kind of their blue, isn't it? Yeah. If I had done the Disney cruise, I was thinking you could just make a very upside down pocket like that. Is that what you mean? Jeep ducking originated in Canada. Oh, wow. Now there's a bit of trivia. That is, oh my God. Alison Parliament from Ontario randomly bought a bunch of rubber ducks from a convenience store and gave one to another Jeep owner with a note that said, "Have a great day." Isn't that something? Just make a very Ann pocket set right side up and upside down. Yes. Well, I could do a whole page and it could be upside down, right? That's funny. All right, I'm going to do that. So let's take this and let me see. All right, stick this over here. That is because and I didn't know that. I guess Nettie's the one that told me. Someone else told me that the Jeep people were doing that. And I owned a couple of Jeeps back in the day. I actually had two Jeeps. I had the typical like CJ5, the regular Jeep. Hi, Julie. I had a regular Jeep. The top could come. I could actually take the top down and actually put the windshield down flat. Four-wheel drive, but you had to get out of it to lock the front wheels to turn it into four-wheel drive, and it was on manual on the floor shift. And then we had a Jeep pickup truck. And when my due date came and went, I got into the Jeep and tore off into the back 40 of the farm we were living on, bouncing around, hoping to induce labor, but it didn't really work. David came when David came, and he was damn well ready to come. Bouncing around on the, oh, you had a Grand Cherokee. Yeah, that's like an SUV Jeep. And then Deb Farrell's granddaughter, they just bought her a used Renegade Jeep. So a Jeep's alive and well. All right, I think I've got a blue here that's pretty close to this blue without doing too much messing around. So this sky blue. So let me stick this here and I can orient myself. There's the, okay, let me turn this around. So that matches this. So that is, it looks like this here. We'll try that. I got my dirty water. Don't we all need dirty water? I think it's that color. Maybe I'll just wet this down. This isn't watercolor paper. But I'm just going to give it a little wash here. So this guy who was doing travel things, he had watercolor paper. And what he did, it was really neat. He cut out little miniature, like Polaroid, like what a Polaroid picture looks like. And then he just, no, that's not that blue. That's more turquoisey. But that's okay. Maybe I'll try this blue then. And he cut them in the shape of like a Polaroid print. But they were real tiny. But what he did was he just replicated the colors that he remembered from his trip, like sunset colors and stuff like that, and then just cut them out and stuck them on pages in his journal. And that was pretty, I thought that was a cool idea. No, this is really wet, but that's okay. It'll dry. Yeah, that's a little bit better, isn't it? I ordered a couple of stencils from P&M Studios, and I knew you guys were on vacation, and I was shocked how quickly they were shipped, even with you guys away. I must have timed it right or something. All right, let's leave that like so. Oh, wow. That's got to be frustrating. Well, this isn't watercolor paper, but I'm just going to do some markings like that. I'm having that trouble with my jelly plate printing. I have to buy, like, I guess I think it's what called an extender, because when I'm doing jelly plate prints, it dries too quickly. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, so you weren't slammed when you got back. That is because I mean, it's on its way. I mean, they're on their way. That's fine. Oh, you're talking to Julie. Yeah, you saturated. Yeah, because when I have a problem when I put paint on my jelly plate, I mean, it dries so quickly. But I know there's something like some flow thing that you can add to. All right, so let's see. It's not quite dark enough, but that's okay. I think that's navy blue. I know what I can use. My new Posca pens. These have really, 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 really. Bye, Mariah. Thanks so much for stopping by. Hope you feel better soon. These I couldn't resist. And you can see they got a really tiny, tiny nib. 0.07. So let's just make some marks like this. See what I'm doing? No, let's see. Yeah, you can. All right. I mean, I have a stencil I could do this through, but this seemed easier to do this than get the stencil out and then find some dark paint, which I have, but let's just do this. Let's see. Let's see if the white will show up. Purpose it for paper towels. All right, let's see if we can get some white to show up here. Let's do the white down here. Why does white have to be so persnickety? I have a white script pen. And I'll hold it up for you to see here in a second. Trying to put the white where the paint is a little bit darker. So you can see, you can kind of see a little bit of white. Let's see whether this is going to work better. Where is it? Well, I don't know where the white pen is. I don't know me. No, this is. No, it's just the blue is not dark enough. That's all right. Okay. Good enough. And I think I'm going to cut this. Let's cut this here. I like kind of stick that there. And I can do some more up here. I like that. And that can be like a little pocket. Really? A white acrylic pen that works better, Liquitex. Well, that makes me, I made my own. Everyone remembers when I went through this. I bought blank pens, right, that you fill with your own ink. I mean, your own paint. It's like a, and this is filled with paint that is watered down. Let's see. No. A little bit. See? I thought it would be really neat if you could make your own pens and fill them with your own colors, and that actually works pretty good. So once I get it pumped, and this is just the regular paint, you know, the regular white deco art paint that I watered down a little and filled so you can make your own colors. And that worked pretty, that worked fine. All right. So I could stick this here. Just like that. What do you think? I don't know. I could staple it, and that could be a little pocket, or I could sew it. I'll staple it. Oh, sorry, we don't say stapler. We don't say stapler. You got to call it a tiny attacher, because that's Timmy's, right? Oh, I lucked out. I have navy blue staples in here. How fortuitous is that, huh? So now we have a little pocket. So now we have a pocket, and I should have put it upside down, but believe me, I'll find something to put upside down. So that can go in there, and we should probably put this on the other side. All right, let's see. We don't need that. And this is bioenergy. Working for external, warning for external use only. Do not ingest. Really? Really? So that means that somebody tried to eat the soap. Right? Every time you see a warning, doesn't that mean that somebody tried to do that? And now they have to tell stupid people not to do that? Warning for external use only. Do not ingest. Keep out of reach of children. Unless somebody was trying to wash their kid's mouth out with soap. Oh my God. You know where this is made? This is made in Italy, Milano, Italy. And there's a website. It smells so good. I actually, when I stayed at the Fort Wilderness with Disney, they had their soap and hand lotion smelled divine. It was so, I liked it so much that I actually bought it. I went online and bought the it's called Sea and Salt, and it was really nice. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stick this here, and I'm going to use double-sided tape, and that way I can hide the staples. All right, let's do that. I know I am just rattling on because I really don't, honest to God, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And I really wanted to have more stuff laid out and plans laid out, you know. So in pages laid out, and then just put them together when I went live, but it just didn't happen that way today. I don't know what prevented me from doing that, honestly. And I was going to concoct a slow cooker, crock pot recipe for some pork tenderloins that I took out of the freezer for dinner. I was going to make like a white stew, but the pork tenderloins are sitting in the refrigerator now, and I probably won't. I'll eat those tomorrow night for dinner because I'm certainly not cooking them now. I mean, I could, but well, that always reminds me of the scene in A Christmas Story where Ralphie gets his mouth washed out with soap when he says, "Fuck," when he drops all of the nuts and bolts. And then they blame it on the neighbor kid. He lies, right? And he says he gets to see, he blames the kid in the neighborhood as to where he'd learned that word, even though they know the old man. And as Gene Shepard refers to his father as the old man, swore all the time. And it's like the mother didn't realize that the old man, swore all the time. All right, so we got a little pocket there. I don't know what we're going to stick in there, but we got a pocket, damn it. We got a pocket. There. We have a pocket. Oh, I know what I can stick in here. I know. Well, we could stick one of these in here. Right, a little passport like so. Or let me put the tiny attacher away. It's not a stapler. It's a tiny attacher. I don't know why it can't be called a stapler. Is a stapler like a patent name or something? I don't know. Did I say hi to you, Trish? I think I did. I hope I did. If I didn't, hi. Let me stick this. Why doesn't that go there? Okay. All right. Okay. I think what I'm going to do. Ooh. Whoops, there goes the ruler. What do you think? We could stick one of these in here, right? I can make it smaller because I can. We can make it smaller. And there we go. That's cool. Let's stick that in there, right? Might have to do more pockets. It's cause Timmy's tiny attacher sounds much better than Timmy's mini stapler. This is true, Barbara. Yes, this is true. I have to agree with you. It does sound better, I guess. More artsy. But someone had to come up with that, right? Someone had to come up with that. Hi, Barbara. Barbara's saying hi to and others. All right. I thought, I'm going to cut out a picture, a painting, and I'm going to stick it in one of those pockets that we just made. And I can cut this up because I got two of them. And I'm looking at this. Ooh, 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 ooh. Is that going to fit? Ooh, I kind of like this. I like that. Oh, and I like that too. That's okay because I have two of them. Yeah, I know. Oh, you can buy those little, mini staplers. Yeah, much cheaper. And the first tiny whatever that thing and tiny attacher was the first one I bought. Never worked. It was a faulty one. It was a lemon. It didn't work. And I tried everything and I could not get it to work. And I finally just bought another one. And the second one works fine. Not a problem at all. So, a faulty tiny attacher. I can see with this cruise, this journal is going to take a interesting twist. We got the two olives dancing, which works for me because when I had my evening drink, I asked for Tito's on the rocks with a couple of olives. We can definitely use the word enjoy, right? For sure. Because that's just a good word to use, is enjoy. Oh, I took a picture of the I never understand my manual. Oh, speaking of manuals, oh my God. The directions to put that step stool together were awful. I mean, it was pretty self-explanatory, other than the fact that you couldn't get the nut on the bolt or the bolt on the screw, or it was like, screw it. But I persevered. I'm that way. I'm very, 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 very stubborn. When I start something like that, I'm going to finish it no matter what. Of course I asked for Tito's. Now, I didn't get the drink package for alcoholic beverages because I figured, it was ridiculously expensive and I wasn't going to be sitting around drinking all day. I mean, I could have, but that was not my intention, right? I like that. What do you think? Take Callum out, stick him in the back, take another pocket. That kind of looks cool. I like that. And, the drink at Tito's on the rocks with a couple of olives on the cruise was $12. $12 is not crazy to pay for a drink. Here at East Club where I live, it charged me $8 for a Tito's, right? And but it's not the $12 that gets you. That's another thing. I got to print out the bill. All right. They charge you the gratuity fee. I think I probably bitched about this on Wednesday, so I'll bitch about it again. The gratuity fee For that $12 Tito's, are you ready for this? It was $18. 18 friggin' dollars. So now that $12 Tito's on the rocks is not $12, it's $30 for the $18 gratuity fee. How friggin' ridiculous is that? I had a beer with our Mexican lunch that was $9.43. Guess what? $18 gratuity fee to open that can of beer. I know. And you don't realize it. I'm thinking $12, And then when you get the breakdown, you go, what the hell? I had a drink Friday night, I had a drink Saturday night, and I had one drink Sunday night. 3 drinks. And a beer. And one morning I did have a Bloody Mary. That's it. And it was $18. $18. I mean, that's ridiculous. Should I put that there? What do you think? Do you like that there? I know. Yep. And those all add up. So I don't know. Now you're thinking maybe that, but the drink package was ridiculous. Even the classic beverage package. Yeah, I know. Hell, he should strip for $18. In the drink cards. Yeah, I don't, well, I'd have to do the math on it because the alcoholic package, it would have been several $100s, Barbara. So I don't know. I don't whether I would do that. I mean, the classic beverage pack, which gave us unlimited Coca-Cola products, and we got a beautiful thermal-lined, thingy, not a mug, but a glass thing, thermal plastic line. And then what you could do is you could take that to any bar on the cruise, and they would fill it up because you only got one of those. I know, several hundred. And then every drink is free. That's correct. Every drink is free. That's true. That's right. Every drink is free and every Coke was free. And Callum went into a candy store, right? Him thinking everything's free, right? And he got a candy bar. Are you ready for this? $6, but no gratuity fee. Oh, now that is, what a wonderful gift, Barbara. Oh, did you see what Barbara gave Linda? And her daughter bought her the balcony and the drinks cart. Oh my gosh. I know. I feel the same way. I would want to, and I didn't want to be falling down drunk, my grandson. But I would have wanted to drink. I definitely would want to drink my, money's worth, so to speak. But they get you. Okay. That's so sweet, though. The balcony and the drink cart. Now that's a friend. That's a gift. That's a thoughtful gift. Oh, speaking of that, I've got to call Nancy. Well, I think I like that there, so I'm gonna stick that on there. I'll just stick that on there with a piece of double-sided tape. Oh, Tito's is a brand of vodka, Cheryl. That's all. It's a brand of vodka that I like, and it's distilled in Austin, Texas. So it's a Texan vodka. And yeah, that's all it is. It's just vodka. I guess, if it has a name, then it becomes top shelf. So it's, but now a lot of people will say, you can't tell the difference. One vodka tastes like all of it. Nah, it depends. We did a vodka tasting thing many, many years ago. We had Stoli and Absolute and was another vodka that we had, and this was before they even made Tito's. A couple of other name top shelf vodkas, just to see if we could truly tell the difference. And I could. I don't drink that much anymore. All right, I'm going to stick that right here. Enjoy. All right, I like that. And that's that just becomes a tag, right? And if it's tag, I think there's cool stuff on the other side, right? Yeah, there's cool stuff on the other side. All right, I'm going to leave that. Okay. Well, it's 6:56, so I'm going to wrap it up. Say so long, and hopefully next week I will have worked on this and have something to show you more comprehensive. I think I'm going to go back and do those little Polaroid color swatches and put in put in my little pictures, and write stuff underneath them. There's the angry young man. And his happy-go-lucky. And I love this picture. There you are. There we are. Yeah. Okay, folks. You all have a good week. I appreciate all of you stopping by and saying hey. And hopefully you'll give me the finger on the way out or the way in or whatever. And I'll see you around the internets for sure. And remember, if you can't be good, be careful. And someone else added, be interesting. I think and be kind, of course, but it's always good to be interesting. From Trader Joe's, French wine. There you go. Sounds good. You can bring wine on board. You can bring a bottle per room. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care.